I chose Mark Twain for my biography report because he was a very accomplished American writer. Also, I have read one of his books, Tom Sawyer, and it astonished me. I found that he wrote this book based off of his childhood. That intrigued me, so I wanted to learn more about him. He had a fascinating life, and I hope you enjoy learning about him just as much as I have. Here's his story.
Okay.
When I was just 4 years old, the family moved to Hannibal, Missouri. This town is right next to the Mississippi River, and steamboats often came to the town. This is the town on which I later based my book, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. I lived there for 13 years and grew to love the river and all that it meant. At age 12, my pa died, leaving us children to support the family. I became a printer's apprentice to do my share of helping. After learning the trade, I realized that I thoroughly enjoyed writing. Several years later, at age 23, I longed to see Brazil and began a long trip. But when I got to New Orleans, there was no passage to Brazil. I didn't know what to do, so I went after my childhood dream of becoming a riverboat pilot. After only 3 short years, my career as a riverboat pilot came to an end with the start of the Civil War when I was 26. My brother was getting a job out west, and I decided to go along with him. While out west, I needed a job, so I started writing for newspapers and making a name for myself. In 1967, when I was 32, I was offered by the American Publishing Company to turn my letters from a cruise that I had just returned from into a book. I agreed, and my first ever book was published. A month later, I met a young woman by the name of Olivia Langdon, who I had seen a picture of before. I fell madly in love with her, constantly wanting to marry her. Many years later, we eventually met. She became my editor and revised my writings. We had 4 precious children. Olivia was my dearest friend through life and a trusted editor.
I most admire Mark Twain's creativity and persistence. I admire his creativity in his books and how he draws you in with his words. He is also persistent because he made one of his best, funniest books ever when almost everybody in his family was sick, and he was greatly discouraged. What I learned from Twain's life is that if you try new things, they might pay off. For instance, when Twain became a printer's apprentice, he learned that he loved writing. Also, when Twain started lecturing, he thought that nobody would show up, but the whole place was filled and he thoroughly enjoyed it. I can connect to this person because, like I said before, he tried new things and liked them. I can relate to this because a while ago I performed at a chorus concert. At first I thought I was going to do terrible and mess up, but when the concert started, I did great. Twain had a big positive impact on other people's lives. He wrote many books that generations of people read and enjoyed. These books looked at life outside the East Coast, including the culture, being a child at that time, being poor, and what it was like when slavery was allowed. He left a great impact on the world, and his books still do that today. Twain's story can relate to literature because many stories involve a main character who is successful in life but has tragedies. Twain was a great writer, but he made a publishing company that invested a typesetter that kept breaking. It became a financial nightmare for him.